roads. Well, turning now to a Louisville nonprofit letting go almost all of its staff, but it's still working to keep its doors open. WDRB's Darby Bean tells us what led to those layoffs.
The executive director of the Center for Neighborhoods says it was a difficult decision and ultimately came down to a lack of funding.
Our importance is really around making the city better on a neighborhood level.
Center for Neighborhoods has been part of Louisville for decades, focused on getting neighbors invested in their community's future by working with neighborhood associations, metro government, and other nonprofits. Michael Forbush is the executive director and says after a recent board decision, he and a contracted worker are the only ones still here.
And that is because the funding that we were really hoping for and trying to bring in didn't materialize.
Forbush says 4 people were laid off.
The unfortunate reality is that those funding opportunities wouldn't come to fruition until March or April, and the board decided that they didn't want to take a risk of completely running out of funding and having to shut the doors.
He says outreach with neighborhood associations will still happen, but not as often.
Other than that, all of our programming has taken a pause until we can get our financial feet under us.
Rachel Brown has a binder filled with tips and information she says she learned thanks to Center for Neighborhoods and the classes it provides to help get people involved in their communities.
Center for Neighborhoods has been basically like the doorway of my community involvement.
She says learning about the layoffs was heartbreaking, especially after getting to know the staff members.
It's just really sad, especially for Louisville as a whole city, to lose a program or the staffing of people who dedicate so much of their time.
Forbush says funding took a hit during the pandemic, but he's hopeful more funds can come through over the next several months. Forbush is hopeful the Center for Neighborhoods can be fully staffed again by this summer. Reporting in Louisville with photojournalist Dave White, Darby Bean, WDRB News.